afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all for the afternoon session of day 3. This session will be on geographic visualizations in Tableau. I request all the participants to give your full attention to Dr. Devesh Bathla and make this session an interactive one. Hope all the participants have installed the Tableau in your machine. With that, I would like to request our resource person, Dr. Devesh, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone had a good lunch and we are all set. Dear friends, I may be engaging for this day as the last speaker, which at times is also painful as a speaker because, post-lunch sessions are not that easy. Had we been together, I would have done some activities that I generally do in the post-lunch session to keep everyone agile, active, and maybe more energetic than they were in the morning. But since we are available online, so let's encourage and work towards, what is data visualization, what is business analytics. So before I move on to Tableau, there's something interesting I wanted to share. So when people ask me that, data analytics, data science or business analytics or data mining is a new thing, I say, I do not think so. So then they ask that, okay, how long have you been working in this industry? I say, it's been more than 10 years. And then they say the industry of business analytics or data science or data mining should not be more than 15, 20 years old. I disagree to the fact. So if I take everyone back, so at the time of Samudra Manthan, so when the Samudra Manthan happened between the Surs and the Asurs, so there was a lot of, crunching that happened and everyone was wondering what would come out from that Samudra Manthan, what is that information that is going to come, where would the positive thing go that would make everyone agile and active and have a long life, where would the wish go that would make people die. Trust me, if we go back to mythology, there are a lot of good things that came out of that Samudra Manthan. So there is a Vajra that came out of these, that there's the Chakra of Sri Krishna that came out of that, and there's the Indra's Vajra that came, and there are a lot of things that came out of Samudra Manthan. So my intent is that data in this today's world is nothing less than a Samudra. So it is a huge ocean of data, which again happens to be a blessing as well as you can say it's a challenge. When we say a blessing, because unless we have data, unless we have information, we cannot expect to have some outputs from it. But if we have a lot of data, we again fall in the dilemma, which one to pick, which one not to pick. If I, share an example of, once you have dinner at your house, life is easy. There is less data. There are 2 vegetables, 3 vegetables, 2 types of breads, rice and buttermilk, etc. Once you go to a buffet, a $4.99 unlimited buffet, there is too much information. You keep on cherry picking which one to pick, which one not to pick. Then desserts are also there. But trust me, if you go to a big fat wedding where a huge set of information is available, you can take anything of your choice. You can continue to get information. There is one halwa followed by the other. Then there is a kheer, there is a dosa, sambar, uttapam, and a lot of, chickens and fishes. So you get confused. This is what huge set of data does to you. What you can do as a user is to first cherry pick. This is what I am willing to do. I want to have a snack that should be of this variety. I want to have, say, a main course with a fish, and this is what I want to have a dessert at the end. If we go with this frame of mind, even to a huge data set, we would reach at better destination rather than just jumping onto the data set and looking at the column one after the other, looking at the fields, we would get confused. And it might happen as the way it happens in weddings, that people tend to eat a lot, but none of them helps their health, which is the profit in an organization. Eventually, they have a bad stomach. And immediately after the wedding, might have to use the restrooms. Here, in data analytics as well, garbage in, garbage out. If we do not know, as Peter Drucker also says, if we do not know where to go, no plan is required. And any plan can also work. So, respected participants, honorable guests, and my dear organizers, we would be working on the same Excel sheet that we were working in the morning, or I can share more data sets, but we have to think logically. We have to think analytically. Where is that I want to land at the end of entire data massaging? Tableau is just an equipment. It is just an apparatus to help you reach there. But it is you who has to decide. If I take you to Tableau, I want to share my screen with you. This is what I want to share. So for example, this is my data source. You would remember we were working on a similar kind of data source in the morning, and the data source was of this size, where it was a similar data set. It was a similar data set where we have order IDs. The order IDs would have been different. If you are using Tableau, I request you to open the Tableau and try to link the data set. There's an option in Tableau where you connect to the data set. You click on connect to a file, which is Microsoft Excel. This would be the main screen that would open on your Tableau machine. This is the main screen. If you install the Tableau, if you download the Tableau, this is the main screen. Here you have an option to connect. Either you can connect to Tableau server or a local file. These are the local files which are there. A Microsoft Excel file, a text file, a JSON file, a PDF. So these are the things that, which would be available. So if you have to search for a Microsoft Excel file, you click on the Microsoft Excel and it takes you. You search, which was our data set, which is the Superstore, and it can help you reach the Superstore data set. And this is where the Superstore data set would be available, and you can quickly link. Since I have already linked, it may not be required at my end. You can link the data set, text file, JSON file, Microsoft SQL file, or if it is there at the server. So one, you have to see the data which is available. Is it available in your system? Then you use this option of to a file. If it is not in your system, at a server location, to a server. I also request, dear participants, you can use sample Superstore. So this is the saved data source. If it is there in your system as well, you can click on sample Superstore. Otherwise, you click on the Microsoft Excel piece, which is there. I have shown it to you. This is the data source, dear friends, we have been talking about, that has orders, people, returns, then set of information. This is what a blank Tableau screen after connecting to a data set looks like. This is a blank Tableau screen. I am sure a lot of people would be working in Tableau. Today is the day 3. There have been day 1, there have been day 2. Some of you would have learned during the course as there were plans, and some of you would have known it earlier as well. But that's how a tool, Canvas, we call it Canvas, or some people call it Palette, or probably this is how the blank canvas looks like. This is the blank canvas. But before we barge into data set, we have to understand what is the data, what is there in this big fat wedding to eat. The system tells you, the moment you enter the pandal, you would see there are snacks counters, there are fruit counters, then there are main course counters, there are veg counters, there are. So all these are like the columns, the headers, the category, the city, the country, the customer name. So the data would look like this, and just focus on these symbols. Just focus on these symbols. This is a globe symbol that says it is a geographic information. Then ABC. What does this ABC means? ABC means it is not maths, it is English. So we can say these are maybe dimensions, not measures. These are qualitative informations, not quantitative. Or I cannot do any mathematical calculation here. Right? Now, if I have to work on the data set, what do I do? If I have to go to a wedding and eat, what do I do? First of all, before eating anything, before landing onto a counter, before doing any geographical visual analytics, one thing I want to do here is what is there for me? WIIFM. What is in for me? What's in for you is location information. These are the snacks. The product information. These are the main course. And some other desserts which are denoted in numbers. And you can see number of records, measure values. These are all measures. What is it written? Measures. Then what are the measures? These are the measures and these are the dimensions. Now here, customer name. Do you think we can do any analytics on the customer name? Maybe yes, I can see, tell me the name of the customers that start with letter A, I want to give discounts to them. Does it suffice my geography? No, not yet. As part of this session, we have to learn geographical analytics. We will cut down the information, but before moving on, there's an option that says view data. Trust me, viewing data is the most critical piece where you click on this view data and understand the data. The category, okay, these are furniture, office supplies, etc. City, this is geographic. This is my one friend that is going to help me. Country, region, again, is this all US? Then yes. If it is all US, I may not be able to get any inference. However, it is a geographical information, but it is not a global data. It is only the data which is in the form of US country only. So I need not deep dive. Customer name, does it help me? I'll see. Manufacturer, these are the various manufacturers who are there. Then product name, postal code. Yes, postal code I can use. Product name, region, very critical geographical information. Segment, not a geographical information. Ship data, standard mode, state. Friends, this is one such cut where I know that state is going to be my best friends. I have many friends, but my best friend is going to be the state. So Arizona, Wisconsin, etc. Washington, these are all states in the US. And this is going to be my best friend. Remember, we learned in the first half, start with the state, move to the districts, move to subdivisions, if required, then go to the lane level. If the data is for one country only, state level information has to be my first cut. Subcategory, number of records. So when we start here and we start the data set, we have understood, we have a clear picture in our mind, state-wise information is going to be my best friend. Now, First of all, let us learn that had it not been state-wise information, what is that single thing that I could do? I am not working off geographies. Most of you know what is a kind of graph we can plot. But yes, can I plot? I'll not put the geography here. So if I have to see that without using maps, I have to see the state-wise sales. This is my state-wise sales. How do I do it? Most of you would know. This is my state, and this is going to be my sales. Where would the sales be? Certainly, it is going to be a quantitative information. So look on these parameters. This is my sales. Now, is it helping me? We discussed in the morning that information by Tableau would be generated basis a lot of algorithms which are there, the visualization algorithm, but is it an alternate to human brain? See, I opted sales, it did not help me. I am not liking it at all. What do? I would swap the rows and columns. So friends, this is one tip for you, that if you find an automatic graph which is geographical information, this is again a geography wise split, may not be immediately on the map of the country, but yes, it tells me a state-wise information. But let me tell you, is it looking good? Not to me. What do? I will clear the palette. I will again, see, this is a place where you can clear the palette. This one helps you clear the canvas. This is the option. If I again click on the state, bring it here, and if I again click on say profit, this is here, not the sales this time. Now this is an option where I can select the data in the descending form. See, this is going to be my friend that helped me. Descending form, I helped. Then these are changing, but now yes, this is fine. The data is in descending form. I'm using profit in the descending form. Here we have incurred losses, but I still do not like it. I want to swap the rows and the columns. This is making more sense. This is absolutely making more sense to me. I can see the losses here. I can see the profit here. The question that would come to me by the senior management would be, tell me the state which is making the maximum profit, I want to reward them. Tell me the state which is making the maximum losses, I would make their life hell. If I have sorted the information in descending order, I can say, sir, California being the highest profit generator and Texas being the highest loss creator, $25,000. Now, it did not take me a second. However, had I relied upon the automatic information, keep trying, until unless you would dirty your hands, one would not learn, except the profit part of it. Until unless it is like this, see the amount of tension I'm going to get. Sir, I think California. No, not California. I think this. Oh, no, sir, California was the highest. Yes, it was 76. Let me look for something else. So this is a sheer confusion which is happening. But this way, it does not take more than a second to tell. So California, followed by New York, followed by Washington. And the highest loss bearer is Texas, and Ohio has given us lesser losses, and Pennsylvania. How many have given us losses? So you can quickly count on your tips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For example, so we can have some summaries for that. But this is without maps. Here, it is a geography voice presentation. Nobody can deny the fact that it is not a geography voice presentation. But yes, I did not put it on the map. Now, what I want you is, in case you have Tableau installed, before we move on to the graph part of it, in case you have Tableau installed, so you can use the chat box and say yes if you have the Tableau installed. And again, if you are using the information that is being shared with you, the table, I give you a few minutes. I request you very nice. So, ma'am, very nice. Debajit, very nice. And if you have installed it, I request you to try it. If you have tried it, it's absolutely fine. It's awesome. But again, let us try once again. If we are using this tool for last 2 days, courtesy this program, I would still request you to please try once more. You can try once again. There is no harm for the other 70 participants to try it for once. There is no hurry at all. This program has been meticulously designed so that a training can be imparted where you can learn a skill and further transfer that skill to the peer group, to the learners, to the students you are dealing with. Please try for a few minutes. That's great. Since we would be practicing, so the intent is that without even portraying information on the map of the country, we can still have some geographical interpretation. Wonderful, Devji. We will take sales and postal codes. You don't worry. So, so what will we do as a next step? As a next step, I will tell you how do you create the data over a map of a country and then portray your information. So this is the second map for you, where the second map says we had the similar information. See, this was the one we were discussing. This was the sales and state which was there, clearly showing, but the problem was it was not in the descending order. So we explored how to portray in the descending order and showed it to us so that we can quickly take. But This information could have been easily decoded in an Excel table as well. Why do I use Tableau? Because I wanted this kind of information which was shown in the morning session to all my respected participants here, that how the states can be shown on the map, and then their profit or losses can be shown by different color on the map. We will practice it now. Here, if I have created as free sheet, this is my free sheet, and I told everyone that my best friend is going to be state. My best friend is going to be state. So Debajit's question was that postal code should be there, and things should be compared. Sales should be compared, profit should be compared. But see, the postal code is again a representation of a particular, say, a district, and a state may not have the same postal code. But I, as a person, want to have a state level information as the first cut. Remember, I am either a researcher doing a research on a country, I am maybe a CEO of the organization who is looking for the statewide sales. I am Jeff Bezos, who wants to review India as a country and see in India where is the place where people prefer Amazon, where is the place where Amazon is making maximum profit. I would be interested at a Bezos level to see the map of the country, and the states representing the profit. I want that map. How do I do it? I, Jeff Bezos, get in touch with a person of a business analytics to show me state-wise profit. If I show him this state-wise profit, he may not be that impressed, because Jeff Bezos happens to be the world's richest man. He would have different bent of mind. What do? I pick up a state from the again same sheet and drop it here. See, what did I do? I need to have some information pertaining to the state. So what do? I would have closed it from here. I pick up a state and drop it here. Doing this makes life easy to plot the graph or map of the country. Some people would say, I am cleaning it, that sir, why don't we put a latitude here? Why don't we put a longitude here? See, did not help. Some would say, okay, let me try and put a postal code here. See, this is the postal code information. Not helping. If I put a postal code here, is it helping? It helped. But see, did you see the difference? Like I was just mentioning, every postal code has taken a unique value. And we discussed in the morning that TMI, it is one of the biggest problem as far as the analytics is concerned, that in data visualization, friends, too much information. TMI is the biggest problem. And one thing that I learned with my experience over a decade with various brands, that for visualization, less is more. Less is more. Always remember, when it comes to visualization, try to make it less, because less is more. Just think that you are dieting and you are eating less. So whatever you eat less is more for you. So what do? You pick up the state and drop it here. Now it is not more, it is not even less, it is ideal, because to break up a country, the first thing that I can do at a geography level is it states? If I have to present India's population, the first cut that I can put is the state-wise population. If I have to tell the COVID cases, my dear friends, respected colleagues, and honorable guests out here, and dear organizers, it would be the state-wise information. How are my states performing? So, state is what has been dragged. You political, physical, no. That is done. See, all the dots are identical. All the dots are identical. What does it mean? That it is just the representation and nothing else. Just the representation. I again clear it. I go here. So just a moment. How has this happened? Not sure. I did not use a pen. So you use the state-wise information, bring it here. Now bringing, see, I am zooming it. It means it is actually as per the map. Now, if I have to say that, okay, I am happy with the state-wise information, but these are just the states, it is not going to help me anywhere. What I want is my state-wise profits. So for a fresh thing, I have brought in states. I want to put profits here. What do I do? Which profit? Excuse me, madam, who's organizing the session.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I think there's something happening, some trouble happening. So could you see those marks on my screen when I was presenting on the Tableau?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
actually, someone is annotating.
Yeah.
Just a minute, sir.
Participants, please don't mark anything on the screen. Don't do any annotation.
So the sharing, you can change the rights in that case. So otherwise, some serious participants or probably, somebody who is unintentionally doing it, so may cause trouble to others.
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll fix that issue now.
Yeah, you can seek the permission in that case. You can stop the chat windows or everything. I mean, in the interest of the serious participants, in case anyone is doing intentionally. So, end of the day, we are teachers, and teachers expect huge discipline in the class. So that's the real teacher that came out. Otherwise, it's absolutely fine. So I'll again share my screen. So, once we do it, the intent is to put the state-wise information on the screen backed by some values. What would be those values? They could be profits. They could be sales. I want to reward people who have done huge sales. I also want to see people who have done great profits. Now, if I go to profits or sales for that matter, and post in the color bar, what did I do? I'll again go back. I'll clear the window. I will pick the state. I will bring on the main screen. I will pick the sales. I would take the sales to the color bar, and automatically, the lighter the color, lesser are the sale, darker the color, higher is the sale. Does it help? Highest sale, California, a mouse over. So this activity is called mouse over, when you bring the mouse and click on a place. But see, is it helping me? I want that South Dakota should be written here. What do? I go to the state, and I drag it on the label part. Is it helping me? Need to see. I also want sales to be shown. Is it helping me? Yes. I started with state-wise sales. I wanted the color of the sale to show a visual impact. I wanted the state to be deployed. I also wanted the labels to be in place. I also wanted the best visualization methods that say less is more, no overlap, etc. Now, what we could have done is go to the color tab, edit colors. See, it gives you a lot of options, automatic, blue, orange. You can see a lot of things are there. But since it is sales, we can use various scales. Otherwise, this is looking equally good. This is looking equally good. I created a similar sheet on the profit part as a practice here, where multiple colors, see the range of the colors. Color 1, 2, this is a different color altogether, 3. And what are they showing? These are the tips. But how did we reach here? How did we reach here? I will start from there. If you go here and click on show me, if you go here, this is for somebody who has just joined the session. We opened a Tableau sheet. We came to a blank palette. We did not know what to do. We thought, let me create a geographic impact. Let me create a geographic visualization. I click on show me something. This is show. If I do a mouse over here, see, I can easily say in this light window that these two have some graphical interpretation on the map or geography. Two different types. If I click here for symbol maps, it says one geography, which is written here. So you can see this, these fields. So one geography, which has a globe, zero or more dimensions. It says, even if it is 0 dimension, I don't mind. 0 to 2 measures. It is giving us a value 0. Dimensions could be as per them, but measures should not be more than 2. If I go here, one geography, 0 or more dimensions, 0 or 1 measure. So if you click here and then you try that, okay, I got it. And I remember what it said. One this, maybe one this. Where do I want? I want from the color part of it. And discounts. Is it one more field required? Okay, I can say, yes, I want. But is it helping me? Not that happily. I want to clear it. So once you keep on practicing, again you would go back. You would again click on state. You would bring the state here. Say, okay, my state piece is set. I want sales as well as profit. I want to see both the values. What do? I want to see sales as well as values. I want to see sales here. These are my sales. I also want to see profit here. What do? Should I try here on the size? Yes, it might help. How it helps? Size of the bubble. Size of the bubble is showing me the value. See, size of the bubble. Larger the bubble, more the profit. Larger the bubble, more the profit. Lighter the color, less is the sales. So that's how you keep on experimenting, keep on learning, but this is automatic. This is what you can do. Is it helping me? Looks pretty ugly. Can I use a circle? I was using it. Can I use maybe a shape? Which is the shape you want to use? Then it prompts you which shape, which size. So a lot of things can happen where a ring has been created. But for now, for the interest of larger audience, I want you to practice this kind of setup where you would certainly use the labels piece of it to show the profit in the label. The profit in the label, see the profits are coming up now. Here I have been even smarter where the profit has been given in the colors and I have deployed the value of the profit. The manager, my boss, should be looking, okay, what is that state with the profit? What's the name? California. He may not be interested to see the names of the state on the entire screen. He is gunning for profit now. He would be looking at the darkest figure, 76,000, and ask me, which is that state? He would be then looking at the lowest figure, which is the most loss making, and ask me, tell me the state's name. I would go ahead, say Texas. He would say, tell me which has got neither sales nor profit, maybe West Virginia, Wyoming, and these kind of information. If he asks me that I want more information, then it is on my jurisdiction if I want to interfere here or I want to show it at some other place. I want you to practice this thing now for a few minutes so that we can move ahead. Before that, I give you a few minutes to practice, please. It is utterly important to practice.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, sir. Nothing.
Actually, I was just giving the time to practice. It is very important so that everyone can do a hands-on learning.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
only sir, maximum 2 minutes, and we move to the next part of it.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Fine.
So I hope everyone has been able to practice. Now I want to take you to the next level where we have been able to create information on one say, but what if I want to show trends? I want to show the trends of state-wise information. And here you would be doing it for us. What do we do? I'll just share screen once again. Now, I wanted to show that how my order, see, this is the information which is available, which is year information, the year-wise information which is there. For the data set, at times there are month-wise information which are there. So yearly, how 2016, then 2017, 18 and 19 have moved in. A shortcut to add a geography was, I told you that, this is where you can drag your information, but there is a shortcut to it that even if you double click on the state, automatically it populates. So when we start the process, we tell the users to drag and drop so that they learn the dragging and dropping part of it. But at a pro level, just double click on the state. Now, we have order date information, we have ship date, we have ship mode. If we want to see shipping mode, what is the preferred shipping mode? Is it helping me? First class, how are the people in North Dakota doing it? Then how are these people doing? Is it helping me? Not sure. I want to see more insights at a geography level. What are those insights? Like in the first session, you said there are a lot of insights that come in, but yes, what are those lot of insights at a geography level? Profit, sales, sales, profit, profit, sales, sales, profit. We have learned it, done it, dusted. Now, if you see my screen, there is a profit ratio. There are some calculated fields that can also be created, which you will learn in the due course. Those calculated fields are also going to be the measures that you will further use in these varieties. Say profit ratios. How do you see the profit ratio part of it? The profit ratio, see, minus 22% to 37%. This is not sales, this is not profit value, this is a ratio. How would it get calculated? Profit percentages. The organizers have planned a session for this, so we will not jump into that piece. But yes, what are the other information that you can gather from here? Is it the manufacturer level information? But remember, it says show me. What does it say? 0 or more dimension, 0 to 2 measures. If you go to try this map, 0 or more dimensions, 0 to 1 measures. It means they insist on using measures and dimensions. Now, if I put a category, try creating any meaningful information. See, this is the real essence where the audience, the learner, the participant, towards the end of the session, teach the participants, teach the peer group and the presenter that this is one great insight that I have brought out of it. What is that insight? The exact information is available with all of us. Is that the quantity? What do I do? Should I put the quantity here? In the color part of it, is it helping me? What is this quantity? See, profit is a different thing. Sales, volume, rupees is a different thing. What is the quantity ordered? If this is giving me a quantity and this is giving me the low quantity, how can I expect? How can I expect values? For example, Wyoming is giving me the lowest quantity. How can I expect Wyoming to give me the maximum profit? If there are a lot of people who live in this area, how would it be possible that they do not have low sales? As a business head, as a CEO, I would be interested in looking multiple values in one point in time. I also want to see quantity. I also want to see the profits. Now, is it possible? Can we try? How can we do it? If it is there, and I also drag profit here, is it helping me? Two variables given together. But is it helping? This is the quantity, these are the orders. Here, what I can do as a smart player, I can calculate a derived value. If I'm smart enough, I would get some population inferences from some place, maybe a census data. Census data I can use. Then I can use my sales. Remember, population, I got it from someplace else. Sales was off the shelf available. Then, as a smart worker, I would create a calculated value of sales divided by number of population to give me a value to see what is that population which is required to have one sale. Or if 1 lakh people make 100 sales, then what is the sales penetration percentage? Then I would calculate a value of penetration percentage and plot it here for my CEO or business head to see, sir, I have done some effort. I am not that person who would rely only upon the off-the-shelf information. I went extra mile and I gathered information. However, I can give you some insights on the logistics. Friend, logistics is something which is also very critical. I again pick the state-wise information. Now you have to try on your machines that using the logistic information which is readily available, what is that insight that you can get? Is that a ship date? Is that a shipping mode? Is that an order ID or an order date? These are the shipping informations. Is that the customer segment? Sir, my high value customers live there. What can I do? This is my corporate, this is my consumer, this is my home office. Is it going to help you, sir? Not sure. What is my segment? What segment I am catering to? You keep on exploring. You keep on exploring. I have told you to use these variables. These are the filters. Here you can put up some filters. Okay, what is that filter? If the region is available, just give me a moment. If the state is here, if my sales are here, if my profits are here, anything that you feel like, if it is there, if my labels are also there in the state, okay, I'll put my profit in the labels. Then how do I use filter? Which is that segment I want to use? You have to try. You have to explore. You have to show the filter. Then I want to see some consumer only. See, I am a smart worker at the end of the day. You have been practicing profits, sales. Did we think that can I see a particular segment? Can you see that Wyoming did not have any consumer kind of segment? If I see where are my corporate customers, don't be surprised if the region label says this is the place, California, that has a lot of corporate customer. There is a Bay Area, there is San Francisco there. That is the place where I am generating maximum sales. You are now answering the global questions that would have come to the mind. What is my home office requirement? So this is what we were looking for. Show me the entire data. See, we have used filters here. We cannot directly jump onto the filters, but yes, level by level, we are getting into the details. End of the day, geographic insights is what we are looking for. Are we looking for categories as well? Maybe furnitures. Okay. All the segments, friends, double filter. Segment followed by category, which is furniture. What all segments? I want to show the filter. Which all, give me a minute. This is where I can show the filter. On the consumer part, how is my furniture moving? Sir, this is how. On the geography, basis the region, in the profit, only the consumer segment and the furniture category. If you also want to see the sales, then go to the sales part of it, but remove the profit so that it does not confuses the ecosystem. Profit, sales, then what is the sales part of it? Go to here automatically. Things would start flowing once you start thinking. Now, what is this information? I can rename, go to rename, then state-wise sales, bracket segment, consumer, furniture. Now, what did we do? We have named it that this is my state-wise segment that has exclusively, you can bring it in the front, anywhere. I have brought it here. Let's not go. These are all my practice sheets. I wanted it to be here. This is my first sheet where I told you how to swap sheets. This is my second one where I showed you the consumer furnitures with the filter part of it. This is how, without filtration, this was my standard sheet. And that's how the practice happened. So I leave you that you keep on adding filters, you keep on adding marks. These are the automatic things, but do not leave it to the jurisdiction of Tableau. Do apply your brains. Keep thinking, you can get it. So I think filters, Dr. S. Hemlata, on your request, I'll go to filters once again. I always wanted the user to be on a high note. So, this is where the state-wise profits was written. Just give me a moment. And you select on the state, just double click. You know that double click also works. I want ship mode to be my filter. What all? Say I want to go for all. Okay, let it be. I want my, see, this is the filters. These are the filters. Anything that you can choose. But remember, do not choose from these green buttons. Try to use from the blue buttons, which are my qualitative data types. Try selecting from them to use the segment part of it, which is the consumer segment. If you want to use both, say all for once, and then okay. And then you also click the ship mode, which is here. You click on the ship mode too. You select all. Click on all. You click OK. You want to select the sales. You want to go to the color part of it. By default, it shows me the sales for entire country. You use the labels, but remember, I am practicing filter. I'll click on show filter. It is giving me all the segments. I want corporate segment. It is showing me ship mode. I want to show filter and say, okay, first class. This is how I am. This is my table, which is segment is corporate. See, the segment is corporate. The shipping mode is first class. This is how things are moving. This is how things are taking shape. I am seeing sales on the state level basis the shipping mode and the customer segment. That's how things are happening. I'm not jumping into the analytics part of it. I am keeping you here where you can self-help yourself and enjoy and have a happy learning. So I think Thank you. And Dr. Saab has also said thanks. It means the filter is clear. So I think we have learned how to use filters. I think we have learned how to use various quantitative and qualitative information judiciously. And then we have also learned how to have more than one inferences in a single graph. I do not want to overburden my dear participants who are respected faculties in this case with too much information. Slow and steady. That's what Arun sir has also said. I want to be slow and steady. So, yeah. So we can discuss anything. I shall be opening it for the Q&A. I can tell some industry applications. In case any question that comes to your mind, you can, freely ask. We are colleagues now, and all teachers. I request you to any question that you want to ask. Maybe what is that skill set which is required? What are the industries that can help? Or okay, you can now focus on this kind of background that I have also worked with corporates, and I can help you, the way you want to learn. Maybe your students would be there who would be planning to make career, and maybe your kids would be there, your brothers, sisters would be there. So anything that you think can come to your mind. So COVID data set. COVID data set, it is not there with me, Anita ma'am. It is available on internet. It is available on internet, COVID data set. But here for this session, we have not kept the COVID data set. And otherwise, I wanted, since the tool is there with you, it is very easy in Tableau to plot the tables, plot the geographies, and then come up with graphs. I just want to share an information that I am working with MOSPI, which is Ministry of Statistical, and they work for a lot of things, MOSPI, and I'm working with a team that is helping the chief minister of a particular state create dashboards. So that is helping me to learn how the political things revolve, and how if to my surprise, the chief ministers are referring to the dashboards. I was just thinking that they are, dependent generally on their MLAs, their MPs, but they have also understood the data, and we have seen organizations like Cambridge Analytica and others who have made a huge difference when it comes to the inference in politics. So
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Your way I'm basically from electronics and communication engineering. I'm very new to this data analytics, but I learned Tableau very well because of your guidance, sir. And I have one question. Sir, what's the difference between the blue parameters and green parameters?
Which blue parameters and green parameters?
Yes, sir. Which comes in blue when we select, it gets highlighted in blue, and green, no, sir.
Okay. These one, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, these, see, ma'am, again, can you see this ABC?
Yes,
This
sir. Yes, sir.
ABC, this
Measures
ABC.
name.
So, ma'am, like we discussed, that the variables are of two types. One is measures,
Yes.
one is dimensions.
Yes.
I simply tell freshers, one is math, one is English. So in mathematics,
Okay, sir.
you can put all the formula. You can put some, you can create standard deviation, mean deviation, mode. So these are math you can say. These are quantitative fields, right, ma'am? The
Okay.
discounts, the profit, the quantity,
Okay,
the
sir.
sales. These are numbers. These are numbers written. But these blue ones are, ma'am, categories, subcategory. What would this be? Shipping mode, name
Okay.
delivery,
Okay.
shipping
Okay.
mode, by air, flight, So, ma'am,
Okay.
just to tell, if you click on show me, it says your answer would be clear here. What is this blue written, ma'am?
Yes, sir. dimension, 1 geo dimension, 0 or more dimension,
And
0
ma'am,
to 2.
two says measures.
Yes,
0 to
sir.
2 says measures.
Yes,
So
sir.
ma'am, that's how, measures and dimensions can be segregated, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful guidance, sir.
Dear
Excuse me,
participants,
sir. This
please
is
take it.
Maheshwari here.
Yes.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just would like to ask you something, sir. Basically, I'm a mathematician, and now that you had showed it is all with
Oh,
respect to the statistics. Yeah. So I just would like to know, like, any other part of the math that you could relate with that of this Tableau concept.
ma'am, see, we can do a lot of things. For example, these correlations, regressions. In fact, I take up a module of statistical application of business analytics for managers. So statistical application are used for, ma'am, for example, regression model. It lays the foundation of predictive modeling. If I tell anyone predictive modeling, they would say it is very tough and has a lot of money. So that's what the youngster tell me. But ma'am, the regression is the foundation of predictive modeling. Ma'am, there are various tools that we use, but as far as Tableau is concerned, Tableau is a data visualization tool. So they have data visualization algorithms which are inbuilt. They can help you, but there are different tools that we use where statistical foundation I've used with an organization. SAS is, ma'am, a world leader in analytics, and they have some 30% market share. I've worked with them for 5 years. So for visualization, there was a tool that was on SAS dashboards. But for statistical application using predictive modeling, the tool was SAS Enterprise Guide, where, ma'am, the decision tree, the random forest algorithm, all these were used, was against SAS Enterprise Minor. So, ma'am, Tableau may not standalone help to interpret my statistical understanding or mathematical knowledge. But yes, ma'am, basic thing like sum, average, mathematical formula, calculated field, logical fields like if then else statement, etc., they can be used. But ma'am, regression model, predictive modeling, those things I don't think can be used or are being used widely as far as Tableau is concerned. But yes, without learning them, I don't think there is any data scientist or business analyst who can grow. It forms the
Thank you so much, sir, for your explanation. And it was actually great learning with you. Right from the morning, you've been so patient enough to, and your main motive for us was just like all of us will have to learn the concept, then, just going through and doing things like that. Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance and making us learn this kind of a concept. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, do you have any more questions?
I think we can always connect with the permission of the organizers. Participants can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's a two-way learning. I will also learn a lot of things from you. We would be connected for a lot of events as well. And participants and we can form a small community. And, it's a small world. We look forward to seeing each other once again.
Sure, sir.
So I promised to give you a book. So the book, just give me a moment. So the book, I'm not among those who commit and then forget. So the book is by the name, since ma'am has used the word about mathematics. So I shall be sending a book to, the coordinator, and I request the coordinators to please forward that book. Otherwise, there's one book, Applied Statistics and Analytics Using Excel, that I use. That's pretty helpful. That is by Cengage Publications. Otherwise, there's a book that I shall be forwarding it to Dr. Anant Kumar, and he shall be forwarding to the participants through this forum.
Thank you, sir.
Right, ma'am. So that's a gift from a teacher to a teacher.
Yes, sir. So we have practically explained how Tableau works with data sets step by step from basics. And also you have gave enough time for the participants to have hands-on experience. Participants, do you have any questions? Ma'am, Shreya ma'am, you can ask. I think you have raised your hand. Do you have any question, ma'am? Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. I must mention our deep sense of welcome, sir. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for all the participants who have practiced on their own mission, and it's a very good learning experience. The hands-on learning made things very interesting. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your PPT and book. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. And so I'll be forwarding the book. So this is the book. It is Discovering Statistics, in case I think you find it opposite. So it is Discovering Statistics Using SPSS. It's by Sage Publication. However, the page count is 854. But yes, you can use any field that you want to use. So Dr. Anant, if you're there, so I have shared it with Dr. Anant. It's the book, not just the link. It's the 3rd edition by ND Field by Sage Publication. I hope your students find it interesting. And I request each one of you, teachers here, whatever you have learned, just try to create a small package out of it and share it with your students. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.